Hey everybody, that was kind of weird. Going in 7 seconds later. This is one of the reasons why I'm getting rid of the service I'm using right now, which is called AV Let's talk about live streaming and how that's going to be, well, hybrids in general for events and galas is going to be changed for 24 and 23, really the fall of it. The big deal that's happening right now is we will be basically changing how we do it. Most of us have had, that, kind of an event situation, but tomorrow we're doing a big one. We're going to be doing one where we're going to have 3 PA systems, 5 cameras, the ability to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors, doing different aspects of it. So we got, I believe it's cart. We're going to have a monitor for the stage, 2 monitors in the room just for the video, a projector, and a monitor outside. This is what we call a normal live stream and hybrid now, but a lot of things are going to change. We have been competing with some of the top players in the Seattle area and seeing what they can do and seeing what they're bringing. And we have been doing our best to give everybody kind of a nice introduction into what we do. Excuses the noise, family. It's just the way it goes. But things may start changing pretty soon as types of packages you can get. So tomorrow, let me show you what we're going to be running with and then what most of these teams run with. So tomorrow we'll be running with the Blackmagic design cameras, which are just awesome. So the first one we're going to be running with, which are going to be our A and B cams. So these are the ones we're going to do our zooming in, zooming out, are going to be these Blackmagic Studio 4K Pro Generation 2s. Awesome cameras. We use them for interviews on the side, all the rest. But the cool thing about them is you're going to get great image. You're going to have SDI, so we can use it in any professional settings. If perchance you were bringing in Bonneville or Clear Channel Communication or anyone like that, these can integrate into their system. The other camera we're going to be using is a Blackmagic Studio 6K Pro. It's a large name for it. This particular camera here gives us that Super 35 look, the cinematic look, and it's amazing. Going down with the equipment, going down a list of equipment we're going to have with us, we will also have, let me scroll down here, a television studio HD ISO. These just overall professional level. You can do real television work with these. You can integrate within anybody's SDI system. It can be HD for this particular setup because most of the stuff we're going to be doing is HD. It's going to be live streaming and the such. The other portion of it we will most likely be adding in later this year is a television studio 8K. Amazing. We do isolated recordings for each channel. So, for example, this particular event will have 5 camera angles. So we'll have those 3 Blackmagic cameras. We will also have, let me do a quick change of what's shared. We're going to have these cameras. They are the Canon N300s. We'll have 2 of those. In most cases, when you're running like the PTZ cameras, if you are not going through Wirecast, vMix, or another type of source for doing your live stream, you can't record the images. You get nothing. Because we're running SDI through all the cameras into the ISO, we'll get an isolated recording for every one of those cameras, including these that we've added on that aren't Blackmagic. We will also get the audio from all the individual cameras. In this case here, there will be no audio from the CRN 300s, but the other 2 Blackmagic cameras, we can also get the ambient audio from the room. We can then even pipe that into the live stream if we want to, which is amazing to be able to do such. At the same time, when we're talking about doing a live stream here, how do we push the audio into it? Most of the times you're going to see just a basic mixer board. Let me switch out this view real quick because it just looks kind of funky. Most of the times you will see a small audio board, maybe 4 to 6 channels of audio, maybe 2 channels out. So one going to the live stream and then maybe one going to a set of speakers. We're going to be doing a little bit more than that because we're going to have cart. We're going to have a few other areas that need audio. So you may have a translator. What else we're going to have there? We're going to have cart for the live stream. I think we're going to have ASL. So each one of those needs their own audio to do their part for the live stream. We're also going to have 2 other rooms. So we're going to have the main room where we're going to do what they call front of house or sound reinforcement for that room, which will have 4 microphones there. We will also have a separate room, lobby area there that's going to have speakers there. Each one of those will have different audio to them or the same audio at the same time, which you're going to need an audio board that can handle doing a mix like that. Um, most of those audio boards can't do it. You would need a bus system. So the one you're going to need most likely is going to be, let me add that in so you can take a look at it. Hey, being solo tonight, I'm not going to have a production team with me, so we're just going to make it work. So Midas M32 board. These things are pretty amazing. They're the industry standard, basically. On one of these, mainly up front, you'll just see all these sliders here. To the average person, it just looks like you're moving sliders up and down, and that's just how audio works. There's a few more aspects to it, but we'll just keep it like that. That's basically how it works. The idea is to take these sliders right here, use them with these sliders right here to put sound in 3 different locations. That would be the main room, the live stream, and any third-party services that need the sound. And that's what we do on a daily basis. On the back of it, you'll see a ton of inputs. And this is where it can get very confusing. We have 32 inputs on here. We have 16 outputs, plus an additional set of auxiliary inputs. In other words, if you need a dynamic audio setup, we can do it for you. And this is what separates our team from a lot of the other teams, that we can produce a pretty dang good sound and give your live stream and your hybrid event everything you need, especially like I got an auctioneer there. One thing that does happen on live streams is when you have an auctioneer, you may end up having it to the point where they're just too loud on the live stream. We modulate the sound on the live stream with that board, and at the same time make the live stream, the in-audience experience excellent. We also want both sides of the audience to feel really good about themselves. The ones who are coming on the live stream, we don't want their eardrums blown out, because a lot of them are going to be wearing, like the Apple earbuds. Those are the most common headphones out there, and iPhones are one of the most common phones. So yeah, I don't want your ears blown out. So we modulate the live stream there. We also want to make sure it sounds good. And the other part that we do is in room, we make sure that the auctioneer sounds good, doesn't peak out. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. And speaking of sound, let's talk about the sound reinforcement. We're going to have 2 different sets of speakers here. So I'm going to kind of walk you through both of those. We're going, give me a second here as I reshare a different screen for you. Share. This one is probably my favorite system. And that's going to be the Bose F1s. I like them because you get a lot of bang for the dollar of a system. So you get 2 of these, and then you get the subwoofer system with them. I'll show you in just one second. And then the towers stand up like this, and yes, you can do a full live band. They're not exaggerating. So it's roughly $5,000 setup just for the speakers, not including any wiring or bags to transport them in or anything like that. This is just the speakers. You would get this, and you would also get the subwoofer that goes with it, which would be, Let's see if I can find the subwoofer. Here's your subwoofer. The F1 subwoofer, they stack on top of each other. Really, really good setup. You're going to be able to do a live band. You can do DJs. We've done full parks with these. We've done full venues with them. But tomorrow, we're going to have this set up front in front of the audience so that they get a nice, robust sound. And then on the corners of the room, we're going to have, let's see, these ones right here. So roughly about $8,000 in that room of speakers just to fill in sound. And then we're going to have a similar system sitting outside. That system's going to be filling up the other room. It's just good sound. And when you invest all of this in, when you're looking at a system like this, you're not going to find that in most of the hybrid teams that are out there, because it's really hard for them to be able to be good at both video and sound reinforcement. And we kind of do both. We set ourselves apart that way. We also work with smaller systems and multi-room systems. For example, we were just doing a live stream, what was it? 30 days ago. And we were doing it for Zoom. We had a master presentation, which would be like the big Galas style presentation, in one room. 3 camera setup, really awesome. Loved it. 2 more Blackmagic design cameras in other rooms with handheld microphones. We were putting in video from, they had like their laptop with their presentations. And we were doing that for a total of about 8 hours. It was a long event. It was worth it. It was a ton of fun. But not many teams can do 3 and 4 rooms at once. And that's an advantage of our team, because we can. We have the capability. We have all the equipment to do such. We've also been on the waterfront for Pier 62. We just did an Indigenous event. They were all the way down from Alaska, which was really awesome. I mean, they came from Alaska to do this. Boy, wireless camera system. C70 doing that. We had 2 Blackmagic cameras on there. We had 2 PTZ N300s. We had our ISO 800. We also have another bigger system that allows us to do a whole bunch of other extra integration with any television stations. And we had that out there. It was pretty cool. But to be part of a team that can do that and know that we are setting the new standard is awesome. But I think the investment's going to change for the types of productions that are coming out of our house. We have been really showing what we can do for the last, I think, 9 months or so. We made the decision to throw everything out there, even it depended on what type of client it was, but we sometimes threw a little extra out with it. We'll be making some adjustments. These will be allowing us to be in multiple locations at one time and giving you the best as possible. And our version of best as possible is we're going to have 3 angles for you. We're going to have 4K recordings for you later on. We're going to have cinematic audio for it and cinematic video for it later. And we're going to have the ability to give you the awesome live stream and hybrid event if you're in a small venue, medium venue, and a large venue. This is going to change the investment you do, because now you can scale up your event or you can scale down your event depending on what you're trying to do, or you can do multiple scales on a similar event. I'll give you an example. If you're at the new Seattle Event Center, which is absolutely gorgeous. We were just there for the Northwest event. Thank you, Jeremy Butler. Thank you for keep putting this together. Do it again this year. We're still deciding if we're going to get a booth. We might do it. We might not do it. We have a couple questions on how we're going to do the booth, because we can get kind of large, and the footprint we would need is gigantic, and that's just the way it goes. But what I want to say is, in an event hall like that, we could be downstairs, we could be upstairs, and we could be in multiple different locations in the event. And you could easily record it, stream it, live to tape it, whatever you like to do to make that event happen. And we're really, really looking forward to showing more and more of this off and giving more and more options available to our Northwest friends, because we want you to be able to do multiple events. We want to be able to help you do a more expanded event where you can invest into it and have the ability to have the unique, powerful facet of the audio that's available thanks to COVID and the visuals that are available thanks to COVID. Uh, Before COVID, we had all talked about how the world would be if you, in our side, how the world would be if we were doing more live streams, if we were doing, had software like this, which unfortunately, the small delays and the small hiccups on this is, I'm going to have to kind of say the investment's going to end at the end of this year, but I'll go back to another one I know works really well. But you've always got to try new products. The backside of this is actually better for a pre-recorded event and then sending it up than it is to do live streaming. So if you're somebody who uses vMix, if you're someone who uses Wirecast, and you want to script a full show and have it go forward, I would say go with EVMux. It's probably the best system for doing transitions of scenes and building a scene from head to toe, but I wouldn't use it for a daily live stream. It's just, there's a small little hiccups with it. I'm probably going to stick with another one that's web-based. And of course, we have Wirecast for our non-web-based work and OBS, but this is where having experience this last year and a half has built up this team's capabilities. And I have to say, the team is what makes us so great, is because without our team, we basically couldn't do what we do. And we wouldn't be able to be in so many different areas, do pre-production, post-production, and everything in between for these events. The other part of it is, where will it go in 24? You will be able to now expand your investment into something, how do I put this? If you want to give your viewers the experience of Netflix, Hulu, major broadcast television, the big events, concert style, to go to your audience, we can do it now. 2 years ago we couldn't, but now we can do it. Not every team can. There are some teams that can, there are some teams that can't. But we can now produce anything from a football game like an NFL style with graphics and all the rest, to the old school PBS style. The old people know the PBS style. 45-year-olds and older know the PBS style stuff. We can do the same look of the Joe Rogan style and everything in between. I mean, if you look at ESPN right now, ESPN, which is one of my favorite places to watch production, is really where we're headed. And ESPN sets, they got a lot of PTZ cameras, they got a couple camera people, some audio people, and that's it. Now, in their case, their audio is not wireless, it's wired. We do a combination of wireless and wired. So in their case, they will have wires connected all the way down through the leg and have like a 30-foot cable, 40-foot cable. Someone can walk around and it's connected to an audio board, and it's pretty cool. Or they can be sitting around it. You're not going to ever lose your audio. In my case here, I'm using a wireless system, which, got to thank you, Rode. Thank you. Beautiful system. Love it. And as a full package for the money, the previous model of this would have cost me, which I have the previous model. Where's that one at? It's charging somewhere over here. I had the previous model with the same lavalier microphone, was going to cost $500. This setup is, with the case would have cost almost $600. This setup right here, with all the accessories and everything it comes with, it's only $400, and it produces at a level equal to or better than a lot of microphones that cost $1,000. And it also has 32-bit float recording. What does this have to do with hybrid and live stream? Well, imagine we're doing a couple of talking head videos for you, or we're doing at event, and this is where our hybrid is a lot different, especially with the new networking systems like this. At event, you want to get people's perspective. You want to get the audience's feel. Deploy a phone. Plug in the unit to the USB and hear like you're charging it. Attach this onto whoever is the person who is asking questions of the audience. Take the other one of these and basically like, here, clip it on your shirt. Tell me how it's going for you. And you get really good audio and whatever the visuals you get on this, because you can't guarantee the cellular or Wi-Fi, but generally it's pretty good. And just really get the feel for the event. And we can do that live and pop it in. We can do it where it is like a little shot. So picture in picture. So we could have a picture in picture like you see in the bottom right here of the person who you were just interviewing, or, you know, we can make that we can do this and have them up here and have you at the bottom, and they're like the big piece. That's where we're going with all of this, and I think it's pretty cool that we can produce this for you. Now, yeah, I am looking down and to the side and everything this time because I'm the only one here. So I'm at home. One of my family members is home, and we're just kind of relaxing. He hates when I do this. Really does. Yeah, the amazing son, but he hates when I do this stuff. When he's home. When he's not home, doesn't care. But that, I expect that of any of them. So in the end, basically what I'm saying is we got some really cool stuff. I'm not used to being on this side of the camera. I'm used to being on the other side, doing audio or visuals. It doesn't make a difference. It's all the same to me because I love all of it. But what I really have to say is thank you a lot for giving us the opportunity to be your eyes and ears for your audience and pass it along to your audience. Because I got to say, this last 2 years of working live stream hybrid events since COVID started has been just an amazing, awesome ride. And we continue to go with it. We're going to be knocking it out the park. We're going to have great new products for you. We will be rolling out a new NDI system. A lot of people don't know what that is, but basically it's like an Ethernet setup that allows us to run a couple of cameras, audio system, and a live stream with the least amount of wires and really great results in almost any atmosphere, any place, and allows us to be in areas where we may not have a power supply, but still be able to produce for you. That's coming up. That'll be spring of 24. We'll be deploying that. Once that's deployed, we'll be able to add that into football games, basketball games, and other places like that, and deploy all around the arena, and you will have footage in very similar or better than some of the basketball games for college teams lately. So, yeah. And I said that we will beat out some of the NCAA basketball productions. No problem. When March comes up or the spring comes up and we're out in a couple of places doing basketball teams, oh yeah, we're definitely going to be able to match that or do better, which is really cool considering that less than 2 years ago we would have had access to the product to do it at a reasonable price range. When I say reasonable, we're not in a $25,000 per camera setup to $100,000 per camera setup to do it. We can now do it at a much more reasonable price and bring it out to clients like high schools, colleges near us, and match up without you having to pay for $200,000 worth of gear. So anyway, y'all have a good night. Thank you for watching. For all those that did, take care. Bye.